So I've said before, because certain people, certain side, or whatever, have blurred the lines between parody and reality, we need to question everything. And of course, if you question things nowadays, you get told that you're a conspiracy theorist. But so I saw this, and I truly want to believe this isn't a real thing. But I know there are people who do this to their animals, so it's still something that needs to be brought up and talked about. So I saw this. My cat Snow, who was a vegan for her entire life, ate my hamster while I wasn't home. As a cat lover, I'm devastated, but I don't think I'll ever own a cat again. On my way to the vet right now to have her euthanized, and I'm bawling my eyes out. It hurts. So I said, please tell me this is fake and you are just seeking attention. I refuse to believe that you think a vegan cat is a good thing and that now you have to put the cat down for something that you forced it to do. Please, please, please tell me you aren't this fucking retarded. And there are some people who do keep animals and have them on a vegan diet. Cats are not vegan. Cats, dogs, they need a diet of meat. When you go out and you see all these big cats in the wild, you don't see them dining on broccoli and plants. You see them hunting for meat. While, yes, you can give your cats apples and bananas, it's more of a treat type thing. You, you're not supposed to keep them on that kind of diet. Usual small things where the doctors might say, oh, well, they shouldn't really have like cheese or something. It's fine in small amounts. I mean, how many times were you been sitting there and your cat's just kind of come up and snatched away what you were eating? And then you sit there laughing because it's funny. You're sitting there, you see videos of like pizza rolls being snatched by little cats, and you sit there and laugh because, it's not going to hurt them. The most it's going to make their, little, oh, my tummy hurts, but it's not going to hurt them. Um, when I'm at my friend's house, if, usually if we're out and we don't want, don't really feel like cooking anything, we'll go to like Wendy's or something like that. And then when we get back, we'll be sitting at the table. Sylvanas will, you know, stretch all the way up and is like, Daddy, Daddy, I want something. I want something now. And so I'll take the lettuce or cheese or whatever else, and I'll just, and she'll say, yum, 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 yum. It's fine. It's not going to kill them. But to have an animal and say that it's a vegan and that it's not getting any meat at all, you're abusing that animal. That is animal abuse. Again, you're not going to go into the forest and see bobcats or mountain lions, or go into savannas and see lions eating broccoli and other plants, fruits and vegetables. No, you're going to see them eating meat. You're going to see them with their face buried in a freaking, carcass of whatever they killed. That is what they need. And for people like this, I'm like I said, I truly hope, to anyone saying, blah blah blah, this cats are obligate carnivores. You're wrong. All my cats were vegan, and none of them had any issue with it. It's just another lie from the meat industry propagandists. Please tell me, how is it meat industry for your animals? We're buying pet food like cat food and dog food. We're not going out and buying fresh cuts of meat. Cats can be vegan. It's like, and then community notes comes in. Cats are carnivores. Again, apples, bananas, vegetables, broccoli, stuff like that. It's good for them. They can have it, but it's not meant to be given at, hell, even like tuna in a can. Even they say don't, that's not, they can't survive on just that. That's something to be given once in a while because of, the tuna and the processing and all that. They say even tuna in a can isn't good for them to be eating constantly. Um, but if you're cooking, your cat gets a little bit of cheese or it gets a little bit of whatever you're cooking, it's not that big of a deal. It's like chocolate. You know, I've gone to the vet before and I've outright asked them and they're like, "No." You know, it's not good for them, but if they get a little bit, it's not going to kill them. You know, they would have to basically eat their body weight in chocolate for it to do anything. Um, so if you have a cat or dog and they get a little piece of chocolate, or you're like, "Oh my god," don't worry about it. It's not going to do anything. Again, all the most that's going to happen is like, "Oh, my tummy hurts." You know, and what happens if your tummy hurts? Sometimes you throw it up, and then you're fine because all that crap that's not supposed to be in there is now out. So because I was wondering, I was like, you know, have people say it's fine, you have people say it's not fine. So I asked the vet, they said, yeah, it's perfectly fine. You know, it's not something you want to give them all the time, but if you give them a little piece of chocolate or something from time to time, it's it's not going to affect them that much. Same thing with milk. You know, about the lactose, it can upset their stomach, but giving them a little plate of milk, it's not going to do anything. But saying that your cat is vegan, was this moral philosopher who specializes in animal ethics or vegan ethics. This was a right move. I showed this tweet to my peers and they all agreed. I'm so sorry and remember this. No, no, it is your fault. No cat is just going to choose to be a vegan. This was the person who owned it. They were the ones who forced it to be vegan. This is your fault if this is true. This is your fault. You killed your cat. This is animal abuse. And all because you're a vegan. Maybe you vegans shouldn't have cats, because guess what? Cats need meat. And if you don't want to give them meat, that's why we have cat food. That's why we have cat food. There's no reason to get your cat on a vegan diet. It is going to make them sick, and they are going to fucking die. Or if you have pets like guinea pigs, mice, rats, hamsters, birds, they're going to get eaten too. Like right now, it's extremely cold outside lately, and I've been noticing that the babies outside are hunting more. Why? Because the food that I give them, the regular, you know, like dry cat food, it's not enough sometimes. They need meat, so they've been hunting squirrels. In fact, the other day I go out, there was like a squirrel basically deboned, like completely like no bones, and it was just like a long flap of skin in its head, and it was just. I went outside this morning or not too long ago, and there was like, I don't know if it was like an arm or leg, but the bones of their arm or leg was, because they need that nutrition. They need the meat in order to, you know, fuel them to keep them warm. And if you notice, if you have outside cats in the, you know, when it's cold out, you'll find them hunting a lot more. Not only, you know, they're running around and their body temperature is going up, but the meat is going to help them, you know? So if this person is telling the truth, you killed your cat. You killed your cat. Not only by starving it, but then you chose to have it euthanized because it ate your hamster. You are the problem. This is why a lot of people don't like vegans. If you want to have that type of lifestyle, that's one thing. But do not force your animals into that lifestyle because that's not them. No, you don't deserve better. Wait, what? Glad you ended the cat. I can't believe he would do that knowing it was precious life. What's this? That's actually pretty cute. Like a realistic. That's great for inside cats. You see this? They don't know that's a fake bird. Cats are natural hunters. That's why outside cats usually are just fine. If because they're hunters. They hunt things. They eat meat. So they don't know this toy is like plastic and stuff like that. They see a bird and they want to kill it. They're not going around the house eating vegetables and wait, what? I agree with you completely. I once raised my cat to be a Buddhist. Cat finally got a decent last meal. A decent meal at last. Yeah, why would you put your cat down for that? Cats are unlikely to thrive on a diet without meat. In cats with DCM, the heart muscle becomes very thin and weak, preventing them from pumping blood and supplying oxygen to the body normally. I just looked over. I saw that. Um, this is the body normally. This is a fatal disease if not corrected early on. The the ASPCA says in an article on cats and vegan diets. The short answer is no. Cats cannot be vegan or vegetarian. Cats are obligate carnivores, which means they need meat in their diet. Exactly. With the rise in plant-based diets in the UK, many have started to consider altering their pets' diets too. The pets' diet too. This can be for many reasons, such as environmental, ethical, or health reasons. But don't do it. If you want to be a vegan, vegetarian, whatever. But your cat, your dog, they need meat. If you want an animal that can possibly, get a get something smaller, get something like a fox or something, one of those domesticated foxes that have been breeded, get one of them. I mean, they can pretty much survive. Or a raccoon. Get a raccoon or a possum, something that can survive on pretty much anything. I mean, come on. Raccoons freaking eat garbage, so okay, so no, cats aren't capable of being vegan vegetarian. You can feed them as such, but at the end of the day, they'll still need be a carnivorous animal. Exactly. And if you're curious, if you have a cat and you want to know like treats and everything you can give them, like I said, apples you can give them, bananas you can give them. Um, you can look up about the things that are good. You can't give them grapes because the outside, the skin is not good for them. Um, but there's a bunch of fruits and vegetables you can give them, but you can't make a diet out of it. They need meat. They need red meat or just meat in general. Um, it still has the instincts of just an average cat, and just because you were keeping on a vegan diet doesn't mean it liked it. Exactly. All this count is obvious bait. I want to say something. Cats cannot be vegan. They are carnivorous, and therefore putting one on a vegan diet will malnourish it. Yeah, of course. Cat dietitian here. This is wrong, completely and utterly incorrect, and has been disproven for has been a disproven myth for centuries. Source, trust me, bro. So again, I don't care if this is real or not. The fact is there are people out there who do this to their animals, and it's fucking disgusting. The fact that you think that your animal can survive on your type of lifestyle, no, no. And when you take that away from your animals, if you have other animals like hamsters or birds in the house, the cat will go and try to fucking eat them because you're not giving them the nutrition that they need. Or they're going to end up finding a way to get out of the house so that way they can go hunting and finally get that meat in their system. But again, I don't care if it's real, but just seeing this and it's a great way to bring it up again, especially because of how cold it is outside. If you have an outside cat, like I said before, I've noticed them. Hell, I went outside. What was it? I came home the other day. I looked across the street, and Mama was on top of the like shed thing that's over there, and she was freaking chasing a squirrel around. She was hunting it. So sometimes the stuff you give them, it's good to sustain them, but in order to stay warm and stuff like that, they're going to need meat. Because that's got the proteins and the fats and all that good stuff. So, but like I said, also with treats and stuff, go online and look up what's good for cats. Sometimes you might have something in your house right now that you could easily give to your cat. As a treat, vegetable or fruit wise. But just make sure you're looking at the list that says is good for cats, because you might see something like, oh, I don't know, grapes. You're like, well, I have grapes. Well, no, grapes are bad for them. You can't have grapes. So make sure you're looking at the list that says it's a-okay. So again, I hope this, I'm sure it's fake, or I hope it's fake, but the fact that there are people like this in the world who do this kind of crap, it's ridiculous. And anyway, that's going to do it for me. At the end of the day, moral of the story, cats are not vegans. Dogs are not vegans. They are carnivores. They need meat to survive. And while, yes, they can have fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, it's not their diet. It's not something they can thrive on. It's not something they can survive on. It's not something that they should be eating all the time. If you want an animal that's a vegan, get an iguana. You can give them veggies, you give them fruits, and they're perfectly fine. That's what they eat. They eat veggies, they eat fruits, they eat greens. So if you want a vegan animal, get a freaking iguana. And iguanas are really cool. Once they get up to 6 feet or so, or a little less or whatever, they're pretty chill animals. You just sit them on you, and they're really cool. They're really cool animals. So if you want a vegan animal, get an iguana. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.